Welcome, everybody, to Let's Talk, the Todd Worsham Show. So today's show is going to be about the infamous Mr. Edgar Cayce. So who was Mr. Edgar Cayce? Well, he's a gentleman who was born in 1877 and passed away in 1945. Mr. Cayce has been called the sleeping prophet, the father of holistic medicine, and the most documented psychic of the 20th century. For more than 40 years of his adult life, Cayce gave psychic readings to thousands of seekers while in an unconscious state, diagnosing illnesses and revealing lives lived in the past and prophecies yet to come. So now remember, prophecies and predictions are different. So prophecies are things that it's something that can happen, but not necessarily will happen. Whereas a prediction is set in stone. It is an outcome, a fixed outcome. Where a prophecy is a variable. So, like in the Bible, you have the prophecies. Well, that's not what is to come. It's what can come or what might come. So they're prophecies. They're if you don't do this, or if you don't change this or do this or do that, then this is the probable outcome of what's going to happen. That's a prophecy. But a prediction is, if you do this, this is going to happen. It's set in stone. That's what's going to happen. That's the way it's going to be. So he was the man who tapped into the Acacia records. So I don't know if I've spoken about the Acacia records yet. I might have done a little bit on the ancient archaeology, but I don't remember. But Acacia records are like the records of the universe. And what it is basically the Acacia records are the records of the universe. So as we live our lives and we reincarnate and we live our next life and our next life and our next life, everything that we did in our lives goes into like a memory into the universe. It's actually really cool. And all the information of everything that everybody's ever done will go into these records, and it piles up and it piles up and it keeps going. It keeps going. Well, we all have the ability to, from the research that I've done, I believe this to be true. I have not yet been able to do this, nor yet have I even attempted to do this, but I believe it's possible. When you tap into the spiritual, you can actually tap into the Acacia records, and you can see things about yourself or about other people or events or things to help you along the way in your life. So basically, the Acacia records, well, it's everything. It's all information in one place from everything in the universe. It's all like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just because the universe is all information. It's all mathematics. It's information. It's everything that ever happens is stored, and we do have the ability to tap into that and to pull information out and to help people. And that's basically what the Acacia records, in my opinion, are for. They're there to help us, to help heal each other, to help heal ourselves, and to better mankind and to better the universe. So he was able to tap into the Acacia records and can help people to heal themselves both physically and spiritually. Cayce also tapped into the information about humanity's past and future, which is really actually pretty cool. So I think one of the most important concept of Edgar Cayce's readings, when it is basically when it comes to one's health and a whole person body. So basically what Cayce believed was it was the body, the mind, and the spirit. And all these needed to come together to be whole so that we could continue on our journey and be the best that we could be. The majority of about 70% of readings given by Cayce were people requesting healing and other overall health issues, acute or chronic illnesses or diseases or whatever. They would go to him, and he would tell them what they needed to do, like, take these herbs, do this exercise. He would let these people know what they needed to do to heal themselves and make themselves better. And this was from the Acacia records. So it's pretty cool. So basically, he believed in holism. And holism pertains to health and healing. It's based on the belief that there is more to a person than just a physical body. Since illness does not exist in a vacuum, health and healing involve more than just a biological. Any complete approach to health needed to consider an individual's entire being rather than simply their illness. Cayce saw total health as involving coordination among the physical, the mental, and the spiritual components of life. Because of this concept, Cayce earned the title the father of holistic medicine. So I'm kind of like getting into this right now. As a matter of fact, I was just down at the Mill Avenue street fair, and I went into the herbal shop, and I bought some tinctures, and probably going to go back and get some herbs and some other stuff to help with some issues. As we get older, our body gets kind of broken down. You get inflammation, you got pains and aches, and your liver gets fatty, and all these kinds of things start happening to our bodies. We start deteriorating. Well, I don't know if a lot of you know this, but everything that we need to keep ourselves healthy and to sustain our lives is given to us by God. It's on this planet. We don't need chemicals. We don't need medicines. All this big pharma, which I think I got into a couple weeks ago, we don't need big pharma. Everything we need is right here in the ground. It's given to us. So I'm starting to learn a lot about all that. And that's kind of where I got into this Edgar Cayce thing, because it all stems back to my ancient archaeology journey that I started probably about 7 years ago. And as I'm taking this journey through ancient archaeology, I started learning about the Egyptians and how they healed themselves, like with resonance, with sound, and roots and flowers and plants and herbs and mushrooms and all these different things that's provided to us by the earth. Everything we need is given to us. It's all here. We don't need manufactured chemicals. As a matter of fact, when we put these chemicals in our bodies don't even know what the hell they are. So they really don't know how to interact with them. And this is why every time you go get a pill, you need 1 or 2 pills to counteract the side effects of the pill that you have gotten. When if you would have just researched what your ailments are and started taking the herbs and plants that work on those issues, you wouldn't need all those medications. So I'm starting to really kind of get into this a little more. And I'll probably from time to time let you know how that journey's going. It's going pretty good so far. I mean, I'm 61, no drugs, no medicine. So I think I'm doing pretty good. So while Cayce himself had no medical training or education, when he entered his self-induced trance-like state, his unconscious mind seemed to tap into the endless reservoir of helpful physical information, either by reading the person's unconscious mind or by accessing the Akashic records. He could accurately diagnose illness and prescribe treatment for people he had never seen or met from any location in the world. Pretty cool. Now you got to remember, this was back. I believe when he started doing this, I want to say it was probably around 1910 or so, around then when he started doing this. So it's pretty cool. So prevention. So from Edgar Cayce's point of view, the adage that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure couldn't be more from the truth. And the great news is that the information from the readings on health included simple suggestions that each of us can follow and to stay well. The nature of many of these recommendations indicates that Cayce's understanding of physical care was really ahead of its time. 3 basic principles included maintaining a balanced diet, which I would say probably 80% of us don't do, including up until just recently myself. I have to admit that when I was out contracting and working a lot of hours, I was a fast food junkie, and I can honestly tell you that I felt sluggish and I felt like I never had the energy. And now that I don't do that, I do still eat fast food here and there, but when I do, I try to go to some of the better places, places that serve fresh food. I'm blessed because I live right around the corner from Old Town Scottsdale, and there are a plethora of really good restaurants that serve really good fresh prepped fresh foods, and the pricing really isn't all that bad for what you get. I don't think so, but so I try to stay more to that side of it, and of course, there's Salad and Go, which is really great because you can go drive through, get a salad, and you can get a lot of energy and a lot of fiber, and keep your day going, and it gives you energy. It doesn't. I find that when I put more fiber, leafy fiber into my diet, that I have a tendency to not be so dragged down, have a lot more energy. I can tell you for a fact that every time I go out and eat fast food, like one of my heroines is Wiener Schnitzel. I love Wiener Schnitzel chili cheese dogs. I have to fight the craving sometimes. It's so bad. I just love them. But I can tell you for a fact that when I go there and I eat my 2 chili cheese dog combo, I'm sluggish after that. I basically have no energy and I get really tired and I just get really sluggish. So I try not to do it that often. Well, actually, I don't do it that often, but every once in a while, I like to go treat myself. So, but you're better off just staying away from them if you can. So, one of the preventions again was maintaining a well-balanced diet, and another one that we really don't do, and I'm guilty of this myself. I'm just now getting back into this because I've had I don't know if I've said this on earlier programs or not, but I've had 3 back surgeries. I think I talked about this when I did the healthcare episode, but I've had 3 back surgeries, and it's really taken away from me from being physical like I used to be. And in doing so, it's hard for me to keep my weight off because I'm not out there doing what I need to do. But since I had my stem cell therapy, things are a lot better. My sciatica pain is pretty much completely gone. The stem cell therapy has really helped me out a lot. And I'm just now getting to the point where I'm getting ready to go out and just start walking to begin with. And I just bought an exercise machine. So I'm going to start getting back into health again. So I might be 61, but in my mind, that's kind of just a number because I don't know what that means to be 61. All I know is I'm not going to be a little gray haired old man with a cane, at 61. I just can't do that. I'm still a hyperactive ADHD, OCD, Pisces kind of crazy person that I'm pretty spastic. I'm outspoken. I have a lot of energy. I don't plan on slowing down anytime soon. In fact, as a matter of fact, I plan on speeding up and getting more things done in my day. So exercise is a huge part, and I believe we all need to do that because I found out through my own personal experiences, when you start exercising, it takes away brain cloud, brain fog, whatever you want to call it. And your memory starts getting better and your circulation gets better and your body starts working better and your liver kind of starts processing things better. You start losing the fatty layer on your liver. Your kidneys get healthier. Just a lot of things happen. And just by walking, I mean, I know it just sounds crazy just to go out and walk, but I know a lot of us say, yeah, well, I walk like 5 miles a day at work. Well, it's different than an exercise walk where you focus. And I find out that when I walk, like when I pick a location, I'm going to say, I'm going to go from here to there and I'm going to do this. It, for me, it's also like a meditation. So as I'm walking, I'm getting in touch with my spiritual side at the same time, because a lot of people, I don't think, understand this or realize this, but meditation doesn't mean to sit, in your little thing with your Indian style and, burn your incense and go off in the Netherland. You can meditate while doing anything. And it's proven that doing tasks, focused tasks, actually creates meditation. You actually get into a meditative state when you do that, because you're so focused that everything around you just kind of disappears, and then you stay focused on the task that you're doing. And in that sense, you're meditating. You're getting in touch with one thing, and it's helping you more than you know. So another big thing that I think I would say right now that over half the country is suffering from is being conscious of how our attitudes and emotions are. So I would basically say that means keep your shit to yourself and respect others. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but it's okay to have differences and it's okay to be emotional. I'm a very emotional person, but I don't go out and extend my emotions all over the planet. I don't throw my emotions on other people. I keep them inside myself. They're mine. They don't belong to anybody else. They're my emotions. I mean, they belong to me. So why would I be giving them all out? But you watch mainstream media and you watch these people and they're just like emotionally out of control. And it's actually really scary on a lot of levels. And it's like, it's okay to have a belief. It's okay to believe in something. It's okay to have a thought. It's okay to have an emotion. That's great. But instead of throwing it on everybody and getting it out of control, keep it to yourself and work on it and help make yourself better. Because when you make yourself better, you help make everybody better. And if we all did that, then everything would be better. We'd all be better. Because I think I already talked about, it goes back to the love thing. If we would just all, not like all kumbaya crap or whatever, but I mean, when I say love somebody, I mean, be happy. It's like when I went to the street fair today, I had made a comment to my wife that it just seemed like there was like all these thousands of people there, and I would say probably only maybe 20-30% of the people had a smile on their face. And it's like, it was a drop dead gorgeous day here in Arizona. I mean, it was like 73 degrees with a light breeze. The sun was just solid crystal blue. It was a day from heaven. I mean, it was just a beautiful day. Sun was shining down on my shoulders. We were looking at all the arts and crafts and talking to people. And one thing I noticed was people were walking around like, I'm not going to say with attitude, but they were just walking around like they were in a daze, like they were just sleepwalking. And I'm old enough to remember that when I was younger and I went to events, it wasn't like that. It's like everybody was having a good time and enjoying themselves, and they were happy to be there. They were happy to mingle. They were just happy to, be involved with other people, and they were happy to be living their lives. And I don't know if it's a byproduct of the COVID, and I'm not really sure, but I think it has to go back to the being conscious of our attitudes and our emotions. I think Edgar Cayce was spot on this, because we don't do this. We really have to, watch how we're portraying ourselves emotionally in our attitudes, because a smile makes a smile and a frown makes a frown. They're both contagious on both sides of that. So, and I'm a pretty good. I'm a pretty happy-go-lucky type person. Doesn't mean I don't have problems in my life. It doesn't mean things sometimes don't suck. I have a lot of trials and tribulations in my life. I mean, I go through a lot, but those are mine. I own them. They belong to me. I don't put them on other people. They're not other people's problems. They're my problems. And I don't hate life because of it. At any rate, so another big one that's on his list is keeping our physical bodies cleansed. This is both on the outside, keeping clean, keep parasites, bacteria, keeping cleansed on the outside, and on the inside. So this reminds me of how I actually first learned about Edgar Cayce before I ever researched him. This is when I first heard his name. Was I used to go get colon cleansing. I would go in, and the colon cleansing that I got was an Edgar Cayce colon cleansing. And I never really thought of it. I had no idea who in the hell Edgar Cayce was. Didn't really care. I was feeling really good when I came out of those sessions, and I would lose a couple pounds, and I would sometimes get euphoric, and I would have energy, and my stomach would be, my whole digestive system would be really good for about a week. So I kind of got addicted to them for a little while, but I haven't done that in a while. It's actually been a long time. So I need to go out and find me a new person. But I can tell you for a fact that colon health care is huge, and I need to get back to that. So anyway, so keeping our physical bodies cleansed, both on the outside and on the inside. That's another major one of Edgar Cayce's, things that he principles that he recommends. And then a big one that I think Generation X and Generation Z are really learning. I think they're really doing this. I in my opinion, us baby boomers, we don't do this. It's called living a life of balance. So basically making time for relaxation and recreation. I know for a fact that my generation, we're workaholics. There is nothing more we'd rather be doing than working. Well, after working 40 something years, I have actually changed to this. I have a job now where I only work 4 days a week. I love it. I have 3 days off. So I have time to go explore. I have time to go be with nature. I have a lot more time to be down and to regenerate, rejuvenate, and to get more in tune with my spiritual side and to connect to God, to the universe. And I think it's helping me a lot. So to move on, Edgar Cayce is also known for his trance-like states where he aligned his mind with the universal consciousness. He channeled insights, offering practical help and advice to answer questions asked by people from across the country. These insights were all documented and became known as Edgar Cayce readings. And they're still used today, which is actually pretty cool. And I highly recommend that you go online. Edgar Cayce's, I don't know if it's his family or if it's his foundation or whatnot, but if you go online and just Google him, he actually has a .org Well, he doesn't, but there's actually a .org on Edgar Cayce, and that's actually where I'm getting a lot of my information from, because it's the actual like website of him. But so I'm basically just giving you the stuff that I just researched on there, because I don't trust anybody else. I trust his organization, because I think they're going to give you the best information. But anyway, so I highly recommend that you go on there, Edgar Cayce. I believe it's edgarcayce.org. And you don't have to join, because it does ask you to subscribe. It's like $9 a month, and I wouldn't do that. Or maybe just join for 1 month and then learn all kinds of stuff. But I think if you join, you'll get like a lot of stuff on healing, some remedies, and I think you have to join to actually read all of his readings and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, I think it'd be, because I'm thinking about just doing it for a month, and then copying and pasting it, just or printing it or whatever. So I have it, so I have a record of it, because this dude is like he was like really super cool. He was like way cool. He was, I don't know, he was phenomenal. I would put him in the Nikola Tesla category, but not as an inventor, but just as a life changer, game changer, especially with the being the father of holistic medicine, and also teaching us how or what we need to do to make our spiritual and our body complete. So really cool guy. So like I said, the majority of Edgar Cayce's readings deal with the holistic health and the treatment of illness. Today, individuals from all walks of life and belief receive physical relief from illness or ailments through information given in the readings, even though some readings are 100 years old. That's insane. So in today's world, we're using readings that he gave 100 years ago. Think about that. That's insane. So the entire set of 14,306 readings include a vast array of subject matter that can be narrowed down into the following categories: the Akashic records, which I think I talked about a little bit, and one I haven't gotten into, and I'd like to get into a little bit more, because I think I'd like to continue this Edgar Cayce thing and get more into it, and because it's so vast, the information that he gave us, it's unbelievable. So number one, the Akashic records. Number two, ancient mysteries, which of course, I'm into the ancient archaeology. So I didn't start dwelling into that yet, because I wanted to really take a lot of time and get through that one really good. And the next one, number three, astrology, I didn't click on that and get involved in that either. So I want to do that too. And then dreams, that's another one. And then number five, ESP and psychic phenomena. And then the one that we talked about, number six, health and wellness. And another one that's really cool is life, purpose, and challenge. I think that one's really cool. So that's basically kind of goes back to the Akashic records. So what is the purpose of life? What are we here for? I don't remember if I really talked about this in my Anunnaki or my ancient archaeology episode. I don't remember if I got into this or not. But according to the ancients, the purpose of life is to learn. It's to learn, explore, and experience. And it's to learn how to elevate or evolve spiritually so that we can be with God. And this may take hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years to accomplish. A lot of people think that we just die. Well, we do and we don't. And I can kind of get into this a little bit. I don't want to get too off track, but they have scientifically proven that there is a soul. So you can look at me, well, how could they do that? Well, they've actually recorded, I believe it's like electrical energy and impulses when people die. They have found out that anywhere between seconds to hours after a person's death, there's like a surge of energy that leaves the body and goes off into wherever. So scientists have concluded that that is the spirit. That's our spirit. And when we pass, they can record it leaving our bodies. It's phenomenal. I highly suggest you YouTube it. It'll blow you away. They've been doing this study, I think, for I want to say for about 10 years. And now that we have better recording equipment and we have better ways of capturing this, it's getting pretty exquisite. It's getting pretty crazy. So the purpose, according to Edgar Cayce and according to the ancient Egyptians, and another name that I don't think I've talked about yet, but I'm probably going to start getting into, is Billy Meyer. And I don't even want to start getting into Billy Meyer. Billy Meyer. Well, that's a whole nother universe. But Billy Meyer talks about that too, how our purpose is to each lifetime, we need to learn and experience more and more and more until we get to the spiritual evolution to where we can ascend. And again, like I said, it could take hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years to do this. And I know this sounds really crazy to the average person, but most of us, whether you know it or not, you are probably at least 100 to 200,000 years old. Your spirit is. And if you don't believe me, I want you to do this. I want you to ask yourself how many times that you have seen something or heard something or woke up and had pre-existing knowledge of something that you know that you never learned. For me, since I got into this ancient archaeology stuff, since I've been going down this path, which has taken me down a spiritual path, it's unbelievable the knowledge that I'm learning. And I know this sounds crazy, but there's things that I just know, and I don't know how I know them. And for a while there, it really baffled me. I thought I was just like, I did too many drugs in the 80s or some shit. I just thought maybe my mind was just fucked up, and I was maybe like having flashbacks or doing some kind of weird shit. But as I got deeper into the spiritual journey, I'm learning that I'm actually remembering information that I was taught in past lives. So it's pretty cool. And I can almost guarantee every single one of you out there, I guarantee you, if you really sit down and you really think about this, think about something that you just became knowledgeable of without really ever learning it. You just either you woke up and knew it, or somebody was speaking about something, and then all of a sudden a little light bulb goes off in your head and you're thinking, well, shit, I know about that. That sounds familiar. And I'm not talking about deja vu, which I guess could be in that category, but I can guarantee you that everyone on the planet, you can access this. You can start to remember things, and once you start doing that, you're going to start opening doors for yourself, and you're going to start like remembering things that you have learned in the past, and it's going to help you today, and it's going to help you to be a better person. It's going to help you to be happier and more connected with God. It's done that for me. I mean, I can't tell you what it's going to do for you, but I can pretty much guarantee you that it will help connect you to God. I guarantee it will. You'll but just sit back and learn about, and think about that stuff, which we can move on to the next one, which we kind of got into meditation and prayer. So like I said, meditation is not necessarily like sitting down, with your little hands out, and smoking a big fat one and burning some sage or sitting, that's um that's one method of meditation. That's true. And that will singularly focus you on the spirit world and a spiritual journey. But that's not the only way that you can meditate. You could, like I said, you can meditate. You do. You actually get into a meditative state when you're focused on a minute single task, like building a model, or say you're a programmer. Say you write programs, computer programs, or you write video games or whatever. Or like me, I'm in aviation, and I do tasks sometimes, and I find myself in a meditative state. I find myself so focused that you actually, um, I don't know how to explain it. It's not like out of body, but it's like you get to a point where nothing else around you even exists. So it's actually kind of cool. And then prayer. It matters what you say. When you speak, your words give off a resonance. They give off a sound, a vibration. And I know this sounds crazy, but negative words, which are attached to negative thoughts and feelings, actually give off negative vibrations. And they cause negativity to come into your life. Try it sometimes. Instead of saying, well, this is going to happen, instead of saying like, well, blah, blah, blah is going to happen because blah, 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 turn around and say, no, I'm going to do this. This is going to end up in this, and we're going to make this, and this is going to be successful, and I'm going to move forward, and things are going to get better. And start saying and repeating positive things out of your mouth. And when you do that, it creates positive vibrations and positive energy, and you tap into that universal. I'm getting chills just thinking about it. You tap into that energy, and I personally find out that for me, it makes me a happier person. Like at work, people call me Mr. Smiley. They call me Mr. Happy because I'm always laughing and I'm always happy and I'm always smiling. And some people, it pisses them off. That's why you always smiling. Why are you always laughing? What are you up to? It's like, nothing. I'm just happy. Okay. But that's just me because I just love, I love the positive energy. It's just really cool. I like it. Okay. So the next subject he talks about, which is probably another one that's not going to go well with a lot of people, is reincarnation. And yeah, so that kind of goes underneath life's purpose also. There are a lot of ancient documents all around the world, the Hindu scriptures, Buddhism, Egyptian, the Sumerian tablets. There's scriptures from all around. I think the Mayans and the Incas also, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. I have to go back and read some stuff. But there's several cultures all around the whole planet that in the past believed in reincarnation. They believed that when you passed away, and that's one reason why pharaohs were mummified. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with the I can't remember the guy's name. The famous emperor in China, where they just found that big, huge, massive grave with all those horses and thousands of soldiers that were buried with him. All those, I think they were clay, or they weren't ceramic. I think they were clay. And there must have been like tens of thousands of, I mean, there was like not chariots, but there was maybe they were chariots or stagecoaches. There was horses. there was soldiers, and every single soldier had a different face, and every single soldier was different. Every single one of them was an individual, and there was thousands of them, thousands. So this emperor's belief was that when he passed away, that these things would go with him to protect him in his next life. So reincarnation is not a 20th century thing or 19th century thing. It's been going on since the beginning of mankind. So we've always believed in this. So it's really cool, and I believe in it. I do. And I think one of the biggest ones on his list is spiritual growth. I'm so glad that I bumped into this. I'm so glad that I started my my ancient archaeology journey, because it has led me down so many roads that has definitely widened me spiritually. And again, like I've probably said on 2 or 3 programs, I do not believe in religion. I think religion is a fallacy. I believe it's divisive. It divides us. I don't think we're supposed to be worshiping anything or anybody or anything. We should not be worshiping anything. Not even Jesus. We should not be worshiping nothing. We should be getting in touch with the spiritual world, with the spiritual universe, with God. Remember, the actual definition of God is creation, not creator. Creation. God is everything, just like it tells you in the Bible. Okay, I'm not saying the Bible's 100%, but from what I've done research on, the Bible's actually, the Old Testament and the New Testament are actually pretty accurate. But there's nowhere did Jesus ever ask anybody to worship him, and he never started a religion. He never asked anybody to start a religion. Never asked anybody to start a church. His whole thing in life was to get people in touch with spiritual, to get in touch with the creation, with God. And go back and read your Bible and look at it through that light. And I guarantee you it'll all start making a lot more sense to you. So another thing that Edgar Cayce did was he talked about ancient Egypt. Edgar Cayce has about 1,200 readings on Egypt. He reveals the origin, purpose, and prophecies of the Great Pyramid and the Sphinx, ancient rulers, and Cayce's own past life as a priest, Rata, who wanted to. So Edgar Cayce is saying that in one of his past lives, he was a priest called Rata. So his goal while he was this priest was to unify the spiritual teachings of the people. So basically just like Jesus. And I'll even, connect it to, because that's exactly what Jesus was supposed to do, or what he did. He wanted to unify the spiritual teachings of the people. That's what he taught. He did not teach to worship anybody or anything. God, I hate this crap. And why we're worshiping him, I don't understand. It's not how it's done. Get in touch with your spiritual side. Watch what you say. Love each other. Treat each other with respect. It's all there for us. We don't need anything. It's all here, right here. Get with the program. Sorry. But at any rate, Cayce's precognitive readings also revealed the lush landscape along the Nile and stated that the Nile had changed in its course once it entered the Atlantic Ocean. And it's funny because now that we know this through Google Earth, actually, I think it was ISIS, actually, or the International Space Station, that actually revealed this, that the Nile has actually changed, because back in those days it actually went right in front of the pyramids, because that's how they got the blocks there. According to archaeologists, they moved the blocks from 300 freaking miles down south all the way up the Nile River to the pyramids on boats. I don't know how they moved 10-ton blocks on boats, but I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying I don't. It's pretty wild, but could have happened. So Edgar Cayce is a phenomenal person. He's done a lot to educate and to change the world. So I highly recommend that you go on to edgarcayce.org and look it up and look at all the amazing things that this man has done. His knowledge that he has given us, to you, to me, to all the peoples of the planet, is phenomenal. It's all there for you. So go there, learn some stuff, and hopefully you'll find something that'll benefit you. All right. Well, I appreciate you listening to the show. Kind of went over a little bit. Rambling on. That's me. ADHD Todd. Anyway, hope you all have a great day and enjoy the program. Oh, and don't forget, I wish people would start leaving. Please leave me some responses, some things that you guys want to talk about or things that you want to know about. I would love to research subjects that you are interested in. It keeps me going. It keeps me, involved. And I'd really like to hear from you guys. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and send me a comment. All right. Thank you.